Stellar Exile Episode7, Mirror World, Explorer 9. This is Dr. Lisa Chen. I'm detecting a planetary body in the Tau Ceti system that matches Earth's spectral signature. This is impossible. My name is Lisa Chen, and I've been conducting deep space surveys for 7 years. I've discovered dozens of exoplanets, catalogued countless star systems, but I've never seen anything like what's appearing on my sensors right now. The planet is Earth. Not Earth-like. It is Earth. Same mass, same atmospheric composition, same orbital characteristics. Even the continental formations match our home planet perfectly. Explorer 9, this is Mission Control. Please repeat your last transmission. Control, I'm reading a planet that appears to be an exact duplicate of Earth. Same size, same continents, same ocean patterns. Spectral analysis shows identical atmospheric composition. That's impossible, Dr. Chen. You're 11.9 light-years from Earth. I run the scans again, checking and rechecking my instruments. The readings are consistent. Whatever I'm looking at, it's Earth's twin in every measurable way. Control, all instrument readings confirm. I'm looking at Earth. I need permission to conduct close-range reconnaissance. Granted, but maintain standard contact protocols. If there's a civilization down there, we need to follow first contact procedures. I adjust my ship's trajectory toward the mysterious planet. As I get closer, the resemblance becomes even more uncanny. I can make out familiar geographical features, the distinctive boot shape of Italy, the British Isles, the Great Lakes of North America. But there are differences too. Subtle variations in cloud patterns, slightly different ice cap formations at the poles, and as my sensors penetrate the atmosphere, I detect electromagnetic signatures suggesting advanced civilization. Control, I'm detecting radio transmissions from the surface, multiple broadcast frequencies, satellite networks, everything you'd expect from a technological society. Any attempt at communication? Not yet. I'm still analyzing the signals to determine language patterns and technological level. What I find in the radio intercepts makes my blood run cold. The transmissions are in English, Chinese, Spanish, all Earth languages, news broadcasts discussing familiar countries and cities, weather reports for London, Beijing, New York. It's as if I'm receiving Earth's radio traffic from an impossible distance. Control, the radio transmissions appear to be from Earth-based civilization, same languages, same geographic references, but the content doesn't match current Earth conditions. Explain. They're discussing political events and news stories that don't match our timeline. Different leaders, different conflicts, different cultural developments. I spend the next several hours analyzing the transmissions more carefully. It becomes clear that this planet's civilization has followed a similar but distinctly different path from Earth's history. Similar wars but at different times. Similar scientific discoveries but by different people. It's like looking at an alternate version of human development. Control. I'm going to attempt atmospheric entry for surface reconnaissance. This requires direct investigation. Negative. Explorer 9. Unknown planetary survey requires full quarantine protocols. This isn't an unknown planet, it's Earth, or at least a version of Earth. The atmospheric composition is identical to home. I'm going down. I begin my descent before Mission Control can countermand the order. The atmospheric entry proceeds normally. Same gravity, same air pressure, same temperature variations as Earth. As I break through the cloud cover, I see a landscape that's achingly familiar yet subtly wrong. Cities where I expect them, but with different architectural styles, rivers and mountains in the right places, but with different names on my maps. I choose to land near what appears to be a major metropolitan area. Based on its geographic location, it should be New York City, but as I approach, I see that while the city occupies Manhattan Island and has the same general layout, the skyline is completely different. No Empire State Building, no Statue of Liberty, different bridges spanning the rivers. I land my ship in what corresponds to Central Park and activate my environmental suit. The air is breathable, but protocol demands protection until I understand the biological compatibility. Stepping onto the surface of this mirror Earth feels surreal. The ground feels real. The gravity is exactly what I'm used to. Even the smell of the air, filtered through my suit's sensors, matches Earth's atmosphere. But everything else is wrong. The trees are familiar species, but growing in patterns I don't recognize. The grass is the right color, but seems to grow in different directions. Even the sky, while blue, has a slightly different tint. I make my way toward the city, using my scanner to monitor for human life signs. The readings show a normal population density for a major metropolitan area, millions of people going about their daily lives. As I reach the city's outskirts, I encounter the first inhabitants. They're human, completely, unmistakably human. Same physical characteristics, same range of ethnic diversity, same basic clothing styles, but something about their behavior is off. A group of children playing in a park stops to stare at me, not at my environmental suit, which should draw attention, but at my face, as if they recognize me. "Hello," I say through my suit's external speakers. One of the children, a girl about 8 years old, walks up to me with no fear at all. "You're not supposed to be here yet," she says, in perfect English. "The schedule says you don't arrive until next Thursday." I stare at her through my helmet visor. "What schedule? Who am I supposed to be?" "You're Dr. Lisa Chen from the other Earth. We've been expecting you." The other children nod as if this makes perfect sense. I feel a chill that has nothing to do with my environmental suit's temperature regulation. "How do you know my name?" "Everyone knows about the other Earth," another child explains. "Our teachers told us about the parallel worlds. You're from Earth Prime, right? We're Earth Secondary." This is impossible. These children are talking about parallel Earths as if it's common knowledge. How could they know about my Earth, let alone expect my arrival? "Can you take me to an adult? Someone who can explain this?" "Sure. Dr. Chen lives just a few blocks away. She'll want to meet you." Dr. Chen, my alternate self on this world. The children lead me through streets that are familiar yet alien. The layout matches New York, but the architecture is different. Art Deco buildings, where I expect modern skyscrapers. Victorian mansions in areas that should be commercial districts. And the people, they all seem to know who I am. Adults stop and stare. Some wave, others whisper to each other as I pass. A few actually approach to welcome me to their world. "Dr. Chen, you made it," says a middle-aged woman who could be my mother's twin. "We saw the news reports about your launch from Earth Prime. How was the journey?" "I'm sorry, but I don't understand how you know about my mission." The dimensional observers have been tracking cross-world travel for decades. We knew someone would eventually figure out how to cross over. She speaks as if interdimensional travel is routine, as if parallel Earths regularly exchange visitors. We reach a residential area that corresponds to Manhattan's Upper West Side. The child who's been leading me points to a brownstone apartment building. "That's where Dr. Chen lives. 3rd floor." I climb the steps and ring the doorbell. When the door opens, I'm looking at myself. But not myself. This Lisa Chen has longer hair, different clothing style, and most noticeably, a completely different demeanor. Where I tend to be cautious and analytical, this version of me seems relaxed and outgoing. "Finally," she says with a smile that I never wear. "I was wondering when you'd show up. Come in, come in. We have so much to discuss." I follow her into an apartment that's laid out exactly like my own back on Earth, but decorated completely differently. Where I have books and scientific equipment, she has art and musical instruments. "You're me?" I say stupidly. "I'm the me that developed in this universe. Yes, you're the me that developed in yours. Different choices, different experiences, different personality, but same basic genetic template." She speaks about parallel universes as if discussing the weather. How do you know about parallel worlds? How did you know I was coming? Dimensional physics has been common knowledge here since the 1960s. Our version of Einstein figured out the multiverse equations decades earlier than yours did. We've been observing other Earths for years, though you're the first actual visitor we've had. She pours tea from a pot that looks exactly like one my grandmother owned. Observing other Earths? Oh yes, we have observational equipment that can peek into parallel dimensions. We've been watching Earth prime you your Earth for quite some time. Fascinating differences in how your history developed. What kind of differences? Well, for instance, on your Earth, World War II ended in 1945. On ours, it ended in 1943. Your United States had a civil war in the 1860s. Ours had a peaceful resolution to slavery in the 1850s. Your world developed nuclear weapons first. Ours developed fusion power. She shows me a photo album filled with pictures that could be from my own life, but aren't. Same faces, same places, but different events, different choices leading to different outcomes. It's like looking at the life I could have lived, I murmur. That's exactly what it is. In this universe, Lisa Chen became an artist and dimensional physicist instead of a deep space explorer. I never left Earth, didn't need to, since we solved most of our environmental and energy problems decades ago. I look around her apartment again, noticing details I missed before. Awards for artistic achievement, photos with people I don't recognize, evidence of a life lived completely differently from mine. Why did you want to meet me? Because you represent the roads not taken. Every choice creates a branching point in the multiverse. By studying visitors from other dimensions, we can understand the consequences of different historical paths. And what have you learned from observing my Earth? Her expression becomes more serious. Your world is fascinating but troubled, more conflicts, more environmental damage, more inequality, but also more exploration, more scientific advancement in certain areas, more drive to reach beyond your own planet. You're saying my world is worse than yours? Not worse. Different. Your Earth faces challenges that forced innovation and exploration. Our Earth found easier solutions that led to stability but less ambition. I walk to her window and look out at a city that should be New York but isn't. The people below move differently, interact differently. Even their body language suggests a more peaceful, satisfied society. What if I wanted to stay here? You could. The dimensional barriers are permeable once you know how to navigate them. Many people would welcome a visitor from Earth Prime. And you? Would you welcome me staying? She considers this seriously. It would be strange having another version of myself around, but also fascinating. We could learn from each other's experiences. What about my ship? My mission? Your ship could return to Earth Prime with a message about what you found, or you could return and report that this world exists. The choice is yours. I spend the next several hours exploring this mirror New York with my alternate self as a guide. The similarities are stunning. Same street layouts, same general architecture styles, same ethnic neighborhoods, but the differences are equally striking. There's no poverty visible anywhere. The air is cleaner than any city I've ever visited. People seem genuinely happy and fulfilled. Crime appears to be virtually non-existent. How did you solve these problems? I ask as we walk through what should be a rough neighborhood, but looks like a pleasant suburban area. Better education, universal basic resources, and most importantly, early resolution of the inequality issues that plagued your world's development. When everyone has access to food, shelter, and purpose, most social problems disappear. It sounds too good to be true. It's not perfect. We have our own challenges. Less innovation sometimes, less drive to excel. Some people find our society boring compared to the constant struggle and achievement of your world. We visit a museum that corresponds to the Metropolitan Museum of Art on my Earth, but instead of ancient artifacts and classical paintings, It's filled with dimensional art works that capture the essence of multiple realities simultaneously. This is what I do, my alternate self explains. I create art that reflects the possibilities of parallel worlds. Each piece shows how the same basic reality can manifest in infinite variations. The artwork is beautiful but disturbing. Paintings that seem to shift and change as I look at them. Sculptures that appear solid from one angle but transparent from another. It's like seeing reality itself, questioned and reconstructed. Do you ever wonder which world is real? I ask. They're all real. Reality isn't singular. It's a spectrum of possibilities. Your Earth is as valid as mine, just different choices playing out their consequences. That evening, she takes me to meet other versions of people I know. My parents, who in this world are both still alive and working as environmental restoration specialists. My sister, who here became a teacher instead of a lawyer. My ex-boyfriend, who in this reality is married to someone else and seems genuinely happy. Each encounter is surreal. These people have my memories of relationships that never happened quite the same way. They remember a Chen who made different choices, loved different things, became a different person. It's overwhelming, I admit, as we sit in a restaurant that exists in the same location as my favorite place back home, but serves completely different food. I imagine it would be. You're seeing the lives you didn't live, the choices you didn't make. It's like being haunted by your own ghosts. Do you ever regret the choices you made? Wonder about the Chen who became a space explorer? Sometimes, I watch your world's achievements in space exploration with envy. You've seen things I'll never see, experienced the wonder of discovering new worlds, but then I look at the art I've created, the relationships I've built, the peaceful life I've led, and I'm content with my choices. We return to her apartment as night falls. The city lights are different from my New York NAS, softer, more organic, less harsh. Even the night sky looks different, with cleaner air allowing more stars to be visible. I need to make a decision, I say. Stay here or return to my world. What does your heart tell you? That this world is everything I wish my Earth could be. Peaceful, prosperous, sustainable. Everyone seems genuinely happy. But it's not my world. These aren't my people, not really. They're versions of my people, but they've lived different lives, made different choices. The relationships I think I have here are based on memories of a Chen who isn't me. And your world? My world is harder, more dangerous, more troubled, but it's where I belong. The people there know the real me, not some alternate version. There's also the question of your mission. You came here to explore and report back. Your world needs to know that parallel dimensions exist, that other versions of humanity have found different solutions to universal problems. She's right. This discovery could change everything for my Earth. Proof that alternative paths exist, that the problems we face aren't insurmountable, that different choices can lead to different outcomes. Will I be able to find this world again? The dimensional coordinates are now locked into your ship's navigation system. You can return anytime you want. And would you want me to return? Yes. Having met you, I'd like to know how your story continues to unfold, and perhaps I'd like to visit your world someday, see what the Chen who chose exploration over stability accomplished. The next morning, I prepare to leave this mirror Earth. My alternate self walks me back to my ship, and I'm followed by a small crowd of people who want to say goodbye to the visitor from another world. Thank you, says the little girl who first spoke to me, for showing us that other worlds exist where people make different choices. Thank you for showing me the same thing, I reply. At my ship, my alternate self gives me a painting she created during the night. It's a dimensional artwork that seems to show both versions of Earth simultaneously, overlapping and diverging like branches on an infinite tree. So you don't forget that reality has many possibilities, she says. I could never forget this. And Lisa, whatever you find out there in space, whatever new worlds you discover, remember that home isn't just a place, It's the choices you make, and the life you build. I climb into my ship, and begin the launch sequence. As I lift off from this mirror Earth, I look down at a world that could have been mine in a different universe. It's beautiful, peaceful, everything I could want in a world, but it's not my world. My Earth waits for me 11.9 light-years away. Midas flawed, struggling, dangerous, but real in a way this mirror world can never be for me. As I engage my dimensional drive to return to my own universe, I think about the choices that created two different Earths, two different versions of human civilization, two different versions of myself. Maybe the real discovery isn't that parallel worlds exist, but that every choice we make creates new possibilities, new realities, new futures. I'm returning to my Earth, not because it's better than the mirror world, but because it's mine. The struggles are my struggles, the people are my people, the future mine, whatever it holds, is the one I chose to help create. But I'm also returning with proof that things can be different, that the problems we face aren't inevitable, that other paths exist. And maybe that knowledge will help my world find its own way to the peace and prosperity I witnessed in the mirror. The dimensional barrier parts before my ship, reality ships around me, and I'm heading home to the universe where Chen became an explorer instead of an artist. Where I belong.